In its 35th full year of operations, the Intermountain Power Project remained a model for financial stability and operating excellence. Intermountain Power Agency remained on solid financial footing during the fiscal year that ended June 30th, 2022, and began the process of issuing new debt to finance the IPP Renewed project. The statement of net positions at the end of the fiscal year totaled just over $2 billion, of which just over $1 billion were in cash and investments. A significant increase in cash and investments over the prior year was primarily the result of the new financing for the IPP Renewed project. During fiscal 2022, $798 million of power supply revenue bonds in the 2022 A Series and the 2022 B Series were issued to provide a portion of the funds required to finance IPP Renewed. The bonds were issued at a premium of $89 million, which will be amortized over the life of the bonds. The bonds will be paid over 20 years, commencing with the first principal payment on July 1st, 2026. Ratings for IPA's newly issued public bonds were very good, with Moody's at AA3 and Fitch at AA-. With construction of IPP Renewed beginning, the value of utility plant assets has begun to increase after years of declines. A net increase in gross utility plant of $164 million in fiscal 2022 resulted in additions of $166 million offset by retirements of $2 million. The 2022 additions were principally for the ongoing construction and engineering for IPP Renewed, the replacement of microwave equipment, the replacement of equipment at the Intermountain Switching Station, and the rehabilitation of the process water pond in compliance with environmental requirements. As of July 1st, 2022, IPA's outstanding debt totaled approximately $903 million, including publicly traded fixed-rate bonds and non-public subordinated notes and drawdown bonds. The net revenues, or the cost of combined electricity and transmission, for the year ended June 30th, 2022, was $337 million, down from $558 million the previous year, as the generating station operated at lower loads in order to conserve fuel during interruptions in the delivery of coal. In the summer of 2022, Utah participants exercised their rights to call back their portion of generation entitlement shares from the project. The callback produced power cost savings for the Utah participants estimated at more than $6 million. Under the power sales contracts, IPA is required to adopt an annual budget not less than 30, no more than 45 days prior to the beginning of each fiscal year. Budgeted revenues for fiscal year 2023 are $477 million, based upon a 55% capacity factor. This budget provides for debt service, renewals and replacements, tax and in lieu payments, and operations and maintenance. Intermountain Power Agency's 2022 annual report and other financial information can be accessed on the IPA website at www.ipautah.com. Operationally, electricity generation at IPP was negatively affected during fiscal 2022 by rail service issues that persisted for shippers of coal and other commodities nationwide. Generation at IPP was restricted for several months in order to conserve coal for the peak summer season. The result was a record low utilization for the year. Net generation was 5,604 gigawatt hours. Net facility heat rate, a key measurement of efficiency, was 10,176 BTUs per kilowatt hour, ranking 33rd in the 35-year history of the project. Efficiency was negatively affected by primarily low utilization of the generating station. Decreased electricity generation results in decreased coal consumption. In fiscal 2022, Intermountain Generating Station consumed just over 2.5 million tons of coal, also the lowest annual amount in project history. Decreased electricity generation also creates challenges for operation and maintenance at large power plants. Generating units that previously ran at steady baseload rates are increasingly called upon to cycle between various output levels. This accelerates wear on some components of the generating station, presenting challenges for availability and reliability. During fiscal 2022, equivalent availability at Intermountain was 89.8%, a performance that ranked 29th in project history. The equivalent forced outage rate of 0.73% and forced outage rate of 0.65% ranked 11th and 17th respectively for those measurements over the project's history. The net capacity factor of 35.5% and the net output factor of 48.4% ranked 35th and 34th respectively for those measurements over the project's history. 8 unit shutdowns occurred during the fiscal year, including 2 that were planned. Planned outages include a major outage for Unit 2 maintenance and a minor outage for bipole and Unit 1 minor maintenance. The 7-week major outage was 2 weeks longer than normal to allow replacement of a converter transformer at the Adelanto substation in California. Also during that outage, Unit 2's turbine generator received major overhauls to the high pressure and intermediate pressure sections. Inspection and repairs were conducted in the boiler, including replacements of some burner injectors. Bottom ash handling equipment was also rebuilt or replaced. In the scrubber and baghouse, corrosion damage was repaired. Routine maintenance was also conducted on electrical and instrumentation and control systems. One of IPP's most remarkable operating accomplishments is related to the generating station's boiler tube failure reduction program. Boiler tube leaks, which are common at large coal-fueled power plants, are an unusual event at Intermountain. Only 11 boiler tube leaks have occurred at IPP in more than 12 years, a significant achievement for any facility, even more for one that is now 35 years old and operating under variable conditions. Ensuring the safety of the generating station's employees remains the Intermountain Power Project's top priority. The effectiveness of IPP's safety programs are evident in the generating facility's safety statistics. At the end of fiscal 2022, the facility's OSHA lost time incident rate was 1.7 cases with days missed per 200,000 hours worked. Its recordable incident rate was also 1.7 cases per 200,000 hours worked. Community involvement is another hallmark of Intermountain Generating Station's operations. And now that spirit is spreading to the contractors mobilizing on the IPP renewed construction site. A food drive challenge between the companies on site launched in November 2022 resulted in more than 8,800 pounds of donations to Central Utah Food Sharing, a community food bank located in Delta and Fillmore. The donations included 11,526 individual items, supplemented by $23,000 in cash donations. In the past 5 years, Intermountain Generating Station and its employees have contributed more than $600,000 in labor, materials, and service to the local community. Safety, efficiency, resourcefulness, skill, and community spirit are baked into the Intermountain Power culture. These are the attributes that keep the Intermountain Generating Station ready for service whenever called upon, that will guide IPP into the future of providing reliable energy that the American West wants and needs.